Good morning. Welcome to Daily Dose this morning. On this episode, I bring you a word from the Lord from 2 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 9. It says, "But he has said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, and my mercy are more than enough, always available, regardless of the situation. For my power is being perfected in your weakness. Therefore, I will all the more gladly boast in my weaknesses, so that the power of Christ may completely enfold me and may dwell in me." Paul had gone to God on 3 occasions, asking God for a specific prayer request, certain things to be removed out of his life. And he got an answer at the 3rd time, which means that God began to speak to him about that subject matter to say that this thing will not be removed. We are not removing this thing. And this is one of the most important aspects for every Christian to understand, that getting the right diagnosis for whatever situation that you are facing is much more important than instructing God on what to do. So a lot of people go into the presence of God asking God to remove certain things out of their life when God wants to use that same situation for something else. And it's important that we get this brief correctly. A thing can be in your life for the propagation of the kingdom. The same conversation happened with Jesus when he was going to heal that child that was born blind. And the disciples asked, he says, how did this thing come about? Jesus said that this particular blindness is so that that God will be glorified in their lives. They were asking, who sinned? Is it the mother? Is it the father? He said it wasn't any of those things. One of the most important aspects of our life is that we must always ask God, what do you want to do? So a person goes through, say for instance, they got fired from their job, and they are not aware of what God was trying to do. Perhaps God is trying to send a message and a signal to them on what they should be doing, on how they should be getting involved in certain things, but they totally missed out on that. And they're asking God, restore this job back. And those things can actually even cause more harm for them. All right? And so it's important that we go to God at every point in time, not to tell him what to do, but to ask him, what are your thoughts concerning this thing? You cannot pray effectively until you know the will of God. That's why Jesus, when he was praying, he says, "Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be your name, thy kingdom come, and your will be done." What God wants to do is that he wants to enforce his will on the face of the earth. And only the people who are in alignment with his will are able to pray correctly. And this is what Apostle Paul did, where he went into the presence of God. God gave him the answer to say, this thing is not living. I will perfect my strength in your weakness. And I hope this has helped you greatly this morning. Join us tomorrow again on Daily Dose as we bring the word for the Lord to you. If this particular episode has blessed you, ensure to share with your friends and your family, and spread the word, subscribe, and I will see you again tomorrow. Blessings.